Hello everyone and welcome to the 10th point weekly Highlander tournament series. We are joined today by a Loman or two in chat, which you cannot see as usual. You just have Luca's portrait in the other window, which is one of our players, but Loman is joining me as usual.
Hey, what's up, guys? Lumen02 joining. Sorry about that. I had a commercial issue jumping on the stream to actually get visual, and I had to mute myself for a moment.
Yeah, no, that's
Watching my
good.
settings. But yeah, I'm glad to be here and being able to commentate on hopefully seeing some good and powerful magic. Assuming we're doing a standard 3 rounds here and
Yep, we have
eight
exactly
players.
8 players. So today it's actually like we want to do exactly 8 rounds. We shouldn't have any of the usual nonsense. Okay, yeah, we are. In the meantime, you can see Luca feasting on. You know what? Let's get that out of here. Let's not. Oops. Let's maybe not watch Luca having his dinner or whatever. So we have, as I was saying, 8 players joining us today, and we are about ready to start. So I will be posting the tournament bracket in chat. Loman, in the meantime, why don't you tell us a little bit about the format, what we're doing, and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah, sure. So this is your first time joining the 10th point. This is Canadian Highlander. Canadian Highlander is a vintage ban list legal 100-card singleton format without commanders or sideboards. It is a 20-point life point format. And the most powerful cards over the course of Magic's history have been pointed such that there are 10 points allowed for each deck with different ratings or points for those specific cards. If you are interested in checking it out, Google it. Check out the Canadian Highlander WordPress. There is a listing for points. There's also a Discord, which I believe I can tag with this in the chat, so folks can check that out. Where you can also find the pointings, deck ideas. But basically, it's a brewer's paradise, and anything that is playable in the game of Magic is playable in Canadian Highlander, whether that be Dredge, Martyr Proc, you name it. Workshop, Stompy, Blue Green, Miracle Grow, anything you want to play. Red deck wins, Storm, all of it, and it's all pretty good. So yeah, that is the format. It is an exceedingly wide format that allows folks to pretty much express themselves as they enjoy in the game of Magic. So that's it.
All right, we are about to be able to post some stuff. What do you think we're gonna watch? What do you want to watch for match one? Is there any deck that you're
I don't
particularly excited about?
I don't see the brackets, man.
Yeah, I just posted it. Sorry.
What's Creston playing? What's Creston
He's
playing?
playing a deck called Trostani's Clown Car, which I believe featuring some good boys, which
What's
I believe
Luca
is
on
some
today?
sort of Celestia toolbox type deck.
What's Luca on today?
Luca is on Ninjas, I believe. I believe he's on Ninjas Tempo.
Let's watch Bug versus Red Black Rakdos. Blahguy versus Luca. I think that's gonna be the
Oh,
best.
Creston is on tokens. That's what I was missing. Okay.
Is on what?
He's on tokens list.
Tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think
okay, sure. Let's watch some bugs.
Yeah, Bug versus RG, or I'm sorry, Black Red. So it's like a Rakdos mid-range deck versus like a Bug mid-rangey deck as
Let's
well.
do it.
I think Para versus Beams is going to be 2 ships passing in the night. You got Tolarian Academy versus Mono Black Aggro, which is like who gets there first, really. Loading, I believe, is on their Black Tech deck, and then Nicky has a decent range. They could be on their mid-range deck or their tempo deck, or they could be on Academy. Do you know which they chose? derNicky, you know what they chose?
Yes. Although, okay, yes, he's on bug control. She's on bug control.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, she's on bug control. Okay, so she's on bug control versus Black Tech. Yeah, no, I still like Black Red.
I'm
Versus,
already getting us set up watching Blahguy and Ninja. So
all right, sweet.
I think at this
I was
point,
just analyzing the rest of the matchups
yeah,
and thinking
that's
about what would be coolest. I think
Red Mage, you haven't muted yourself, please.
well, I have now.
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
looking over it, I think these are my predictions. Bailite over Creston. Sorry, Creston. I just think Abzan control. I think is going to have advantage over a board-based tokens deck. Beams versus Para is up in the air. It's whoever fishes faster. It's 2 ships in the night. Nicky versus loading. I don't know, but I think the control deck will get the tech deck just because it's going to have a more coherent plan. But I don't know that. And then I think Blahguy versus Luca is going to be up in the air. I really don't know. I think it's going to be pretty close to an even matchup. I think it'll be the best matchup. So I look forward to it. We'll see if I'm correct. See if anyone gets upset. I mean, it's Canadian Highlander, so even if the matchup's not great, the decks are powerful and the game is pretty quick. So
I mean, in general, a lot of. I mean, that's kind of true of Magic in general, right? Where like.
well, it's
If,
exacerbated when you have Soul Rings and Black Lotuses. And
oh
extra
yeah,
spell
for
puzzles.
sure. I'm not saying
100
like,
cards,
it's true.
singleton. You know.
Yeah, it's true. Like
Yeah.
exactly of fuck.
Mm-hmm.
We are gonna have to restart the stream really quickly because I forgot. I'm casting the wrong graphics card on my computer.
Okay.
So we will be back in the next minute. Sorry about this. All right, we should be back. Let's. I should have hand cams for both players. We're gonna get them set up very quickly. And yeah, let's get going.
Alrighty, I'll be momentarily behind you. I'm watching a Prime Video advertisement here for 30 seconds.
At some point, we'll figure out a way to get you to get to the actual feed for the hand cams. It will happen, I swear.
Oh, I'm good.
I'm
good. Alrighty, so
right, we have Blahguy's hand, and
we have a good hand. That's a great hand. I'd keep that. I don't. Rakdos Charm's a little suspect, but I mean it does hit bins. But yeah, you just smash the Smuggler's Copter turn 1, and then play this Vampire out and go to town with the Smuggler's Copter, and ideally win. Hit more gas to win, but yeah, that's a good hand. I'd definitely keep that.
Yeah. You guys can go. Yeah. Sorry.
That opposing hand's very good too. We see a Fatal Push, which
yeah,
is
Fatal Push is just a card you want. It's just a card
on the play. Luca's on the play, which is going to be pretty savage because they'll probably hand attack, knock out the Mox Ruby. They don't think they're a lands-based deck.
Yeah, I mean, there is also an argument to just duress the Smuggler's Copter and then Fatal Push the Vampire Nighthawk. I mean, if you handle the Copter and the Nighthawk, they're left with no pressure.
No, you take the mana with a Strip Mine in your hand. Try to limit their mana resources. You go
right,
ahead and Fatal.
Right. I guess I didn't factor that their lands are literally Strip Mine and Tech Hedge.
It's coupled with the fact that you can also basically buy a whole turn against the Vampire Lacerator. They're gonna play that thing on turn 2. Actually turn 1 now, and then they're gonna tap it to attack with their Smuggler's Copter, and you can just Fatal Push the Copter. I think I would just take the Ruby here and then try to dummy them out with they can also take Rakdos Charm if they want. If they're a lands-based deck. I mean, if they have Strip Mine in their deck, they're probably playing Loam. It's pretty rare that you see.
I don't think so. But I think
that's a little more of an odd include than to me. Like it's a 3-point card. It's a lot of points. I mean,
it's really powerful.
Sure, but it's like
I don't think Strip Mine is a combo card.
You rarely. Oh, I think of it as a card that you want to have ways to get it back. You're right. They end up taking the Copter.
I think there is still room in the format for first Strip Mine.
Yeah, but I think it's in monocolored decks that wouldn't have otherwise be using.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. In Bog, maybe not so much.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like you're in Bug. I mean, it's like Time Walk's not a fair card anymore either. I mean, you can use it fairly. All right, there's a Shinobi. You get this weird spot now where, like, do you just Strip Mine them? I think you do, but I mean, like, You also have the this Tainted Pack. The Tainted Pack can probably, if they hit another blue source, they can find a True Name Nemesis with it, which would be pretty good. All right, they're just going to fetch. And say a go. Yeah, if they find the True Name, they can put this Fallen Shinobi down and probably kill their opponent.
Fallen Shinobi is such a stupid card.
You can hit with it, yeah. I mean, this deck that...
Yeah, it definitely demands you that you
playing.
do some work. Like, it has an amount of setup cost, but, like, if you... Once you get in, it definitely gets the job done.
I think in this case right here, I don't think you even blow up one of their lands to strip mine. I think you save it and just play out this Fairy EOT, and then flip the Fairy with the Shinobi on the following turn and just murder them. That's a Thoughtseize, though, so that's going to stop the Shinobi, which is pretty good. That's a good hit. They could Tainted Pack to find an answer to this, like a Mental Misstep or something, or a Spell Pierce wouldn't do it.
No. But Mental Misstep would, or...
I mean, they may save the Thoughtseize. I doubt that. There's not much else going on.
No, Thoughtseize already on this deck.
Better. Yeah. I think you do it before you attack, though, just in case there's a flash creature that can just randomly block your thing. That, you know, not there's many in that color pie at that mana cost.
Not that block profitably, at least.
Yeah, the Simian Grunts. Not playable anymore, unfortunately.
Hey man, I had that card in my Pauper Cube until not too long ago, and now it's not even in my Pauper Cube anymore.
It's a very good card. It's a good card.
It has
not
Echo, not a mechanic that is either anymore.
Yep, it sure does. Yep. So I think
we do Tainted Pact for an answer.
Okay. I mean, if they have Mental Misstep, I mean, they could Force of Will this, but that doesn't seem like it really... I guess Force of Will is fine, but then they need another threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I like funding Force of Will there.
Well, they could very much so value the Shinobi. I mean, they know their creature density. If they expect another one, I mean, you don't pitch the Shinobi at this point. You just pitch your flyer out. I guess the counter argument is, like, I think I kind of like just letting them choose. And then if they take the Tainted Pack, great. You play the Shinobi out. If they take the Shinobi, you Tainted Pack for a good threat. And then you stay at parity on cards. Then again, they can also hardcast the Shinobi at some point. But then when you're hardcasting Shinobi, you're not really where you want to be. It's just, you know, they're going to block it every time.
Yeah, but it's still a 5/4. Like, it's not exactly an easy creature to block profitably. But
sure.
And they're only one land off.
That's true. Well,
I do agree that it's not the best plan. Like, ideally, you ninja it, but, you know.
Yeah.
Beggars can be choosers.
Well, we don't have to beg here, though. I mean, I don't think we had to Force a Will. I think we could have just Tainted Packed it for something else. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, agreed. Maybe they don't play Mental Misstep. I don't know. Let's figure it out.
Oh, Mental Misstep, I mean, would be a card parity, but I think what I like doing is, like, letting them choose. So they're going to choose the Shinobi, and then Tainted Pact and find the 1/3 Ninja.
Yeah, sure.
That card's pretty good, too.
Ingenious Infiltrator, I think it's called. No, Yuriko. Yuriko the Tiger's Child.
Yeah, that one. That one. All right, well, they're going to probably hardcast this thing, and yeah, and hope to get there. They're at a reasonably low life total. Rakdos Charm does damage to each player equal to the number of creatures they have.
Yeah.
Also exiles graveyards, and I believe, does it blow up an artifact?
Yes.
Ability on that card?
Yeah, I believe so.
Pretty sure
the first time I cast Rakdos Charm in my life, it was during an M13 sealed, and I was playing Grixis. What I ended up having to do was copying it 3 times using Nivix Guildmage so that we could draw the game. It was weird.
Yeah. Well, there's a non-blocker.
Yeah, that guy certainly does not block.
I mean, honestly, here, I think I kind of like just using the Assassin's Trophy to blow up the Zombo, get some chip damage off Sarcomancy, and just hit them. I mean, if they have removal, they have removal. It actually turns on your Tectonic Edge as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I would end up doing. Just blow up the Zombo. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna go
although
for it.
like tech hedging them when they have 2 Moxen in play, like you're not really accomplishing super much. But also, when their opponent is going from 5 to 6 mana in their aggro deck, probably they don't
They're
have.
flooded. They're flooded. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously. I
like
mean, this Shinobi would have died on their turn if they had removal. They're
yeah,
not
I
gonna.
don't know that they even like strip mine in here.
How's it gonna get better?
It's not.
Strip
But
mining here.
no, I mean
Well,
it's gonna get
you
better
tech
by
edge first.
tapping for a colorless mana. I
You
think.
tech edge first. You tech edge first.
I guess that you can also attack them. No, never mind. Like, I think that like you can probably use your 4th mana more than you can use denying them their 6th. Is just my reasoning.
Yeah. I have to look at their deck and see what they have that they're able to cast here.
Well, I mean, they probably want to hit mana up for counter spells anyway, right? Like that's. Although they're both on single. They're both on like their hands are empty. They have 1 land in hand each. They are kind of just top decking. But now the ninja is getting through.
Yeah, it's bad business. Generally spells the end of the game.
Yeah.
So the way this card works is they exile the top 2, and you can cast them without paying their mana cost. So now Luca is going to have, well, not very good creatures, but 2 additional creatures that they can just play for free.
I mean, their opponent's playing an aggro deck, so their deck is full of like random 1 and 2 drop badness, right? But it's still like it's still free. Like you'll take it.
They just don't age well. Now this was a hell of a top. Actually, never mind. Fallen Shinobi's a 5-drop. Fatal Push can never kill Fallen Shinobi. Nope. Doesn't do that. I think I would just block here to like fade a rando like Price of Progress kill or some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean they're taking 4 from Price of Progress right now, but yeah, sure.
Just yeah, you know, like burn Price of Progress or like Skelemental Price of Progress, you know, like whatever.
Yeah. Some sort of like 2-head combo that adds up together for 9 damage.
Yeah, it's just like you can't really lose this game, so like don't put yourself in a position to lose.
Oh, hello there, Ingenious Infiltrator. So nice of you to show up.
Yeah, I'm a little behind on you, so I'm assuming that's what they drew. They can return that card to their opponent's hand.
No, I think what you do is just play it, and then your Fallen Shinobi draws you a card.
Sure. You
and
could
then Ingenious Infiltrator blocks the 2-1.
But Fatal Push notably can kill the Ingenious or the Infiltrator.
Yeah, if it has Revolt, which right now
they have a Bloodstained Mire, so it does.
Oh, they have a Bloodstained Mire, yeah.
Yeah.
So they should probably do it now, so that to deny the additional card.
We'll see what happens. I mean, they may miss it. I mean, at this point, it's going to be very hard to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a Blahguy can do very much to like get back into this game. At this point, they would need a series.
Well, like
I mean, the game is not over, but they would need a series of pretty good draws in order to get there.
Skelemental, Price of Progress, any burn. Skelemental, any burn.
Yeah,
they're going to be 1 if they get it by Skelemental here.
Oof. Terminate Dreadbore are the draws. Oh, but they have to play them this turn, so.
Yeah, you probably just blow the Blood-Soaked Champion up and call it good. It's just call it good. And now I believe they're at 0 ounce. Yeah, because they're dead next turn. I guess they could play a blocker out like Rotting Regisaur. But the Shinobi has first strike. That doesn't matter against Regisaur. Regisaur would be a fine draw. There we go. That's what he drew. Holy shit.
Oh no.
So that's not good for. I mean, they'll probably still get out of it, but that's a good draw. That's what you want to see.
Oh, this is
the problem is it is a zombie, so the Sarcomancy stops hurting him.
Yeah. So you can probably jump attack the Fallen Shinobi into it.
They're dead.
And then ninja one of these other guys.
No, they're just dead. They're gonna attack and they're gonna block the Fallen Shinobi. They'll return the Legion Loyalist to their opponent's hand, putting Higir, the silent one, into play.
Higure, they still win.
Yeah, still win.
I thought it was just a ninja of the D power. Sorry.
No, it's a 3/4, so it'll kill their opponents.
Yeah, if it's a 3/4, it's gonna get the job done.
Yep. Return Loyalist, hit for 5, game.
Also, I used the wrong steel for this guy. Oh, this is the guy that finds more ninjas.
Yeah, it's the guy that just kills his opponent right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it does.
It does that.
It's a cool card.
Yeah, not one that you see super often. For
No,
good
in my ninja
reasons.
decks, I tend to run like Yuriko, the Ingenious Infiltrator, and then the big one, the one
Fallen
we just saw
Shinobi.
play. That one, yeah. The rest of them, I don't really mess around with. I just
You don't play Ninja of the Deep Powers? That
nope.
has a decent
It's a two toughness.
Ingenious
No, it's a two
Infiltrator
toughness.
impression. 2 toughness? Okay.
Yeah, two toughness. No, no thanks. Especially like the low side of it is like it has to be hard cast for 4 mana. It's a 2/2. P bad, in my opinion. But I think if you get the right creature density, you can run it. But typically speaking, like I build those decks as aggro control decks, and like their threat density is like 20 to 24, as opposed to like 30 plus. All right, so
I'm surprised that Luha's back deck has. Maybe it is a Loam deck, right? Because they also have Fiery Islet. Islet?
yeah,
Sure.
brother, when you're playing a strip mine, like I think you're doing something wrong if you're not playing a loam or like a Renin 6 or a Crucible. Like they may not be Crucible deep, but like something along those lines. Um, I think in general, like the Ninjas deck is going to be better served being like a recall deck, or a time walk deck, probably a recall deck. I don't know. I just tend to find like these bluish. You could do Moxen too. I think like Moxen or recall tend to make the most sense to me. I've never been a huge fan of the strip mine and like the lands engine style package and like aggro control decks like Bug. I just feel like it's too conflicted because it's a very grindy plan.
Right.
So what do we hit here? I'm assuming we're gonna hit the.
I mean, we see 2 threats, 2 removal spells, and a card draw spell.
I can
in
see
Luca's
rattle chains
hand.
here. I can see rattle chains.
Yeah, just stall their progress a
ponder.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the upside of the Ponder, yeah, rattle chance is the thing. With the
Well, the
upside
hope
of
is
the
to-
Ponder is that it's a unique, like, if you take any of the other cards, you already have a backup card that does something similar, but
Sure. The big reason you take the rattle chains there is because it blocks on curve against the Dreadhorde Butcher,
yeah,
which
sure.
is basically a Slith Firewalker that when it dies does X damage, where that's the number of power it had to any target. So it basically will block it unfavorably.
I like that your explanation was like, oh yeah, this is basically a Slithfire Walker, as if like Slithfire Walker was gonna be a card that was more familiar to
Arcbound Slith. That one too. Slith. No, all the Slith did that.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Also, I like that the Sliths are creature type Slith. Like that's actually their creature type.
Yeah, that's what they do. They just get big. There were like a whole family of vampires did that too in Innistrad.
Yeah, in Innistrad, the vampires had this
curse
mechanic.
Curse of the Stalked Prey. They're gonna cast this Clutch of Brutality here. I don't know that I like that. I think you just get the Dreadhorde Butcher down and start going to town.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, especially because then you give them time to use the brutality, like to deploy something that gets the brutality can hit with the.
And you're also boxing yourself into taking the Drown in the Lock, because the Drown in the Lock with an escalated Clutch of Brutality is just going to be very turned on to what your deck's doing. So they're just trying to limit their efficiency, I guess. This Thief of Sanity is pretty sweet. I think we're just going to see a Vendilion Click, though, to try to clear the bolt. The bolt will hit the Vendilion Click, and then Thief of Sanity gets down. Maybe you Maelstrom Pulse if you have the green mana that you can find it.
It's awkward because like you need to be able to block this Dreadhorde Butcher, but you would like to do so before you deploy the next threat, right? Like otherwise.
Well, you want to block it with the Vendilion Click here because you don't want the Thief of Sanity to die. You don't,
exactly.
To die to it, yeah, because it will.
It is worth mentioning though that what they could do is just play Muyan Ling, and then that kind of breaks the Dreadhorde Butcher because it's not gonna be able to deal. Yeah, that's what they go for because Muyan Ling's plus is -2/-0 to Dreadhorde Butcher, and the trigger on Dreadhorde Butcher is when it deals damage to.
Yeah. No, I'm tracking. Yeah, so it stops those counters. That's if they don't have like some sort of way to pump it up.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't be shocked if their deck had something along those lines.
Yeah, but we know it's not in their hand right now, so at least for now it's.
Not yet. Not yet.
And then next turn, the Moo can make a bird.
Yeah, I think as opposed to making a bird, because then the bird like is boxed into having to block the Dreadhorde Butcher.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. You can just keep the Dreadware Butcher
Just
tank
keep it
down.
tapped down.
Yeah.
Although they just drew a kill for it. That's gonna kill the Muyanling.
How?
Well, that's a Kolgan's command plus a lightning bolt.
He's gonna 2-for-1 instead to do it. Okay.
Not really. It's a 1-for-1 because he's gonna get a card out of his opponent's hand, or he's gonna get a card back from his graveyard.
Yeah.
At this
You're
point,
right.
just
You're
not
right.
out of his hand. Yeah, it's a 1-for-1. It's an on board 2-for-1, but
Yeah.
altogether, my guess would be we're gonna see either the Pulse or the 4-drop go. I kind of like keeping Pulse around, but I could see going otherwise.
He kind of was wishing for a land there because I'm kind of stoked to trade my Athres for this Red Butcher.
All right. Well, I think you just slam the Vendilion Clique.
Yeah, just
Draw phase, clear the hand, and then basically hold back the. Maybe you do it in combat. Yeah, you probably do it in combat.
I think you're fine.
You want to eat it. You want to kill this thing. They're gonna do it draw. I don't think the Harsh Mentor is a.
No, I think you let them have it. I think.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Yeah. I think it's a below average draw.
Yeah, I mean it's not particularly excellent in this matchup. I mean it stops the Fiery Islet from drawing cards, but doesn't stop it. It does 2 damage.
Yeah, it doesn't stop it. It just makes it more painful. But also, like Fiery Islet is painful to have around anyway. So
the thing is with doing it in the draw step is they just may not attack now. They may just hang back,
which is bad for you.
Which is where like you kind of do want to keep the pulse around. It's kind of like what I was thinking is you just pulse in your next turn and then like you attack first, get 3 damage in. It's like lightning bolt damage, then basically 2-for-1 yourself just to get this Dreadhorde Butcher off the table.
Okay, but no, they attack.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that I like this attack.
Yeah, I think I would have hung back with it and just tried to wait and get value, see what my draws were. My opponent here, his opponent, or their opponent here is, obviously a little stymied on lands. Their mana development has been a little tricky.
Yeah, I mean, Dreadhorde Butcher will get in for 2, so we got that going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But this Thief of Sanity, if it doesn't die on the next turn, has a very high probability of just taking over the game. I think you just slam it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have... Yeah, for sure.
No, I mean, if Blahguy hits, what would be well for them? Just burn spell.
We have some results from the back table. Beams won 2-0 over...
TasteTheBeams, okay.
Who was Beams again?
They're playing Para.
Oh.
So Academy lost to Sui Black / Boggy Boys. I want to guess. I mean, they may be playing something different now, but both those players. Well, one of the players' name is after the deck that they enjoy playing, and then the other is touts their. That was an ancestral recall. Touts their build, which is basically a non-standard build of Suicide Black, which is all flying Suicide Black creatures.
Also, we have derNicky defeats Loading 2-0. That's the result that you predicted this result. I think.
Yeah. I just don't think it was a great matchup for them. And folks, when I like predict results, believe me, it's not about you at all. It's about the decks and just how they match up.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I think it makes sense, right? It feels like Loading deck is calibrated to be able to defeat decks that are more linear because they are more likely to draw some sort of random silver bullet that just ranges them completely, as opposed to being as opposed to like decks that are just kind of like generically fair and have a lot of redundancy with different.
The problem you run into with like Bug is that Bug has board control, so it can stop things that you put on the board, and it has stack interaction. A lot of Loading's cards, not that Loading does not have relevant cards in that matchup, but the ones that are relevant can be interacted with the stack, and then the relevant permanents they have, can just be blown up. And like the Wrath of Gods, like the Languishes, the Damnations, the Toxic Deluges.
Yeah, I mean, Bug
probably not great.
That's the thing.
That's kind of what
Blahguy develops a Goblin Guide to go with his Archmentor and attack for 2.
We'll see. The thing is, we're going to see a Hagir just come down and blank the board. Well, maybe not. They're going to be low on life.
Yeah,
and these fetch lands do 2. Actually, do 3.
Okay, so full price Dismember. Clear the Harsh Mentor.
Yep.
I honestly don't even necessarily hate just developing the Atris here and planning to just block the Goblin Guide.
I don't mind this line. I think this is fine.
And just that you attack with you first attack with the Thief of Sanity. You see if that gets you something, and then
that Dismember was his opponent's, right? That was Blahguy's.
Oh, it was Blahguy's?
Yeah, it wasn't in the hand before, so I'm pretty sure it was in a revealed zone or an exiled zone.
Nice.
For by Thief of Sanity. I think now you'll probably just see Hagir come down and just be a 3/4 and block the Goblin Guide, based on what they find.
But
I don't think
it's gonna be topped, right?
No. I wouldn't ninjutsu it in. I would just hard cast it. It's a 5-drop, right?
Oh yeah, right. You're right. It's cost 3.
And they haven't made their land drop yet, so they fetch down to 6 and then play out the Hagir.
No, that's fair. Well, it also depends what was exiled.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if I have figured it out, because I have access to Luha's camera. It was a tragic slip.
Okay. That's a fine card.
That's a little short of killing the Goblin Guy, but it's going to probably heal something down the line.
Well, the one that is the interesting line of play could be, you're fine, is to actually just play out the Actress and leave up Tragic Slip, because Tragic Slip does blank the ball lightnings that Blahguy's playing.
Yeah, although he did not.
I actually like that.
Oh, no, he did leave Tragic Slip up because it can be hasted with mana.
That's right, man. Yeah, I don't mind that, because you are at a low enough life total that like one ball lightning could just end the game if they top deck it. So I don't mind that play. They could also get more value out of Hagir, but I don't know how much value they're going to need to get out of their cards here. They just need to end the game.
What are these piles? Let me...
You generally take the 2.
So, Preordain, Bloodstained Might, and Opt are the head. I like putting Preordain in the face-up 1-card pile and the other 2 cards in the face-down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And because they're more likely to take the face-down 2-card pile, but I think it is slightly... Well, it's probably comparable. Opt is worse than Preordain, but there's a land.
I'd take 2, because if you hit a Brainstorm, you just have more cards to work
with. Oh yeah,
with.
for sure. I think, especially if the face-up card is a Preordain, you just take 2.
In this phase of the game, Preordain and Opt aren't... Oh, they put Preordain and land together. I would probably take Preordain land. It's not like you need more bombs. Was Preordain land face-up? All right, they got Opt. They tried to next level them and give them a worse card.
What was face-up? Was Preordain land or was Opt face-up?
Preordain land was face-up.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I think, you mind game them there, right? Like, it's like, oh, I don't know if these, like, if they put it face down, it must be good, but then if it's just an Opt.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't think it really matters.
No, I don't think it matters too much. I don't think the land doesn't have that much value. Force of Negation's a good pool.
Blahguy's pretty much flooded out of this game.
I think this game is pretty over.
I don't think it's over yet. It's close, but it's over.
The Tragic Sleep in... the fact that they have Tragic Sleep Force of Negation up means that makes the game like a lot more over, like a lot closer to over than it's been. Again,
here's the thing, right? Like here's the thing,
like they're not 0%. That's not what I'm saying. But.
Yeah, they're really not. Like I don't know Blahguy's deck inside out, but like I mean they could play like a Blunderbuss, and just like hit him for 7, like a 7/2 trampler. I mean that could happen. That could
what
be
is the 7/1 Pardic Firecat? I think. Is
no, that's
blistering fire.
But that's a 7/1. There's a Blunderbuss, which is like a 6.
Oh, Blunderbuss. Yeah,
it's like 7/2 or something like that. There's like a lot of different ball lightnings that have been created throughout time.
No, what's that? I don't.
Blunderbuss, I believe, has Persist though. I think it starts off as a 7/2 and then becomes a 6/1.
No, I think it has Evoke.
It may have no. That's Spite Bellows.
Oh yeah, Spite Bellows.
No, Blunderbuss is a different card. It's a 7/2 that when it dies, it has Persist. It comes back as a 6/1, and then it dies after that too. It's a double ball lightning, but it's a 5-mana spell. 3 red and 2, I want to say.
Okay. I'm trying to find what this guy is called.
It is. It's like Blunderbuss. It's like literally named after archaic shotguns.
I don't. I think it's. I think it's a play on word. Like it's not exactly called.
It may be Thunderblast.
Thunderblast. There you go. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. It is a play on words. All right,
It's also blast, right? Like the actual weapon is a blunderblast, I think, without the T at the end.
Correct. Yeah, there's no T at the end. Yeah, there it is. 7/2 haste. Has trample as long as a -1/-1 counter on it.
Oh, okay. So it's only about lightning when he comes back. Okay.
Yeah, but it has haste.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely gets in. Don't get me wrong.
Look how big that thing is.
Yeah, it is. It is a large lad.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that guy. Big old elemental.
Yeah, he gets in there for sure.
And speaking of getting in there, this is
Yugure the Steelwind is also getting in there. Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow also on the getting in there plan.
You probably leave up the knight, I think, here. They're going to play main phase. I think you leave knight up, though. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I just leave knight up. I agree. Because it's also going to be able to gain you 3 life.
Yeah, it's a Doomblade. It's a Doomblade Lightning Helix. Is ideally how it's supposed to play.
Yeah.
Pretty good card. I'm glad to see Lucas playing it because I play that in a couple decks, mostly tempo, like blue-black tempo decks. I've been very impressed with that card in those lists.
It's not quite a Doomblade Lightning Helix. It's more like a Lightning Helix. I think it only deals 3.
Well, no, it gets lifelink and death touch though, right? So it just kills bigger things.
Oh yeah, it does get death touch. You're right.
Yeah, it's a Lightning Helix Doomblade.
Okay, no, you're right.
Yeah, no, the card's quite good. It's a lifelink is really the big part on it. I mean, they're both good. Both those abilities are good, but like you don't have a lot of lifelink in blue-black, so you can play like Nighthawk. That card's kind of beyond its time. Okay, well.
How are you on the like the 2-mana Nighthawk? What's his name? Man, I cannot drink.
Okay.
Gifted Witherbond was the head I was looking for, but yeah.
Yeah.
Luca gets there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I play that card in like mono black, but like I don't play it much else. Just not high impact enough in enough matchups. I mean, it's really good against like red deck wins, but like I don't really expect my blue black deck to be great against red deck wins. I expect to have to like play my ass off and maybe get lucky, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry. What ended up happening is that GarruksGardener / Crestone selected no watchers when creating their game against Bailite, and that's the only game that's still going. So we can't watch it.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do while we wait for it to finish is I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick, and you can entertain our viewers while I do that, and I will be right back.
Sure.
Hey, man.
Hey, yep. What's up, man? Are you playing today as well or no?
What?
I just watch you play. I'm a dumbass. I don't look at who's playing. I just like look at the decks. How have you found Strip Mine to be in that deck? Out of curiosity.
It's it's quite a lot of points for what I use it for.
Yeah.
Because what I use it for is to get rid of the white anti-legend land. What's it called? Caracas.
Yeah.
I basically have 3 versions of Strip Mine in this deck, so I don't have to deal with Caracas. That's why I put it in there to begin with. I have had some success actually using it to cut various resources, be it the amount of mana or the specific type, but that was not the impetus to put it in there.
How many legends do you run in the deck? I know you have Yuriko. I saw her.
Well, so I have Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. I don't mind that one being bounced.
That card, if someone's bouncing that card like Leopold, you're fine.
But I have Rankle. That being bounced is pretty irritating. Rankle, the Master of Prankle.
I know Rankle, yeah. 3/3.
Yeah, Higura, the Stillwind, which finds the rest of the ninjas. That's a legendary. Then I have Yuriko and Adric and Leopold.
Yeah, Leovold, you don't care if they bounce.
Yeah, I get cards, but still,
Yeah. And like Edric's a
I
weird one.
have a
Like if they're
higher
ever
than
tapped out,
normal amount of legends,
Fair enough.
legendary creatures.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that one kind of surprised me. I was like, are you playing Loam in the because I would have figured a Mox would probably in general probably do better for the deck, but
Yeah, I used to be on 3 mocks, then down to 2 mocks, and now because I wanted to do Snapcaster Ancestral Recall, I went down to 0 mocks, and then
you're on Ancestral Recall.
yeah,
I
so
think that's
I'm
all your points.
yeah, Ancestral, Strip Mine,
Mm.
and True Name Nemesis, which you saw me discard that.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I think you're. Am I wrong? But you're over points, bud.
What?
Yeah, True Name Nemesis is a point. Ancestral Recall is 7, and Strip Mine's 3. It's 11
Yeah.
points.
It's 3?
Yeah,
What?
3 points 3. It went to 3 like 6 months ago.
Oh shit.
Let's change your deck.
Yeah, let's maybe
Right
fix
now?
your deck before. Yeah, please.
So
I mean, oh,
well,
I hate to say that. I hate to do that to you, man.
yeah, I know,
mean,
but I have been
oh,
I have
Yeah,
fought.
that is. Yeah,
GQ
please
or
fix your
I don't know
deck.
what we do here. I don't know. Whatever it is. What it is.
I need
Yeah.
to go back and look, but
I promise you.
have been
Promise you.
playing 2-point strip mine
No, it's
for
3 now,
No,
man.
it
I
is
promise
that
you, you're
straight
over
pen
quite
is
a long
definitely
time.
3 points.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I need
Man,
to.
This deck's hitting like a truck. I got an Ancestral Recall and a Time Walking in. I'm sorry. It is kind of funny to me.
Damn it. Okay, yeah.
What am I?
Now I need to figure out what I need to take out, the strip mine or the
Or the true name? I mean,
true name.
to be honest, for the sake of this tournament, it's probably just easier to have the true name, just because that's an easy cut, as opposed to like cutting the strip mine also means that probably you end up cutting Loam, and that ends up changes a bunch of cards.
No,
in
I
your
don't
deck,
have low
He doesn't
in
have
here.
low. He's
Oh, you
playing
don't have
fair
Loam.
line.
Okay.
I play fast strip mine,
Okay,
which is
okay.
why I thought it was 2 points.
Yeah. I would just
I'll take out the strip mine for
just put a land in.
for what's the colorless basic.
Waste?
Like that's the most fair change, I think.
You don't have
Just
wasteland in that?
put in a wastes.
No, I would just put in a basic land. And I would put a waste.
No, but I can't put more basics in because of Tainted Pact.
Oh, can you put a snow over there? Are you also?
I have 6 basics of the 3 types.
Waste cities.
I wasted this.
Do you have a prismatic vista?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you, man. Oh, sorry to do that to you, man. I as soon as you're talking, I was like, "That's 11 points, homie."
Yeah,
that is.
Thank you.
No problem, man.
1 point too many.
Oh.
And now 2 points too little.
Yeah. Oh, while we are kind of waiting also for next round, I wanted to remind everybody that the N-Type exclamation point Discord in the chat to gain access to our lovely Discord where to the Canadian Highlander Discord, which is a place where a lot of people can just help you just get set up and get into the format if that's what you're doing. But B, also that's also when we run these tournaments from. So you're gonna find all the reminders, all the resources that you need to join us if we want to sign up for next week. If you just want the link for next week's poll, I'll get you to that in a second because I haven't done that yet, but I'll do that soon. By which I mean right now. You. Oh yeah, Bailite's still going at it.
Yeah, so Bailite's games are going to tend to generally be longer, especially I've played against the tokens deck a couple times. It's not a bad deck.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be a slogfest though.
Yeah, it does have some means of accruing value. I just think in general over time, Baylite's gonna tend to get it. Now that the deck the tokens deck can like get a lot of pressure very early, and if like Baylite doesn't have a hand that reacts well to the board, then they get overwhelmed. It's also a Crater Hoof deck. Um, so it could go either way, but I do think Baylite, like in enough repetitions of it, will probably be favored, just given their proclivities for how they build decks. They're generally very grindy, very board based. Board and hand disruption is just pretty maximized in their builds.
Okay.
Do we know what the spread on the game is right now? Are they 1-1 or are they is one player 1-0 up?
I do not have any way of monitoring that game, sadly.
Okay.
Um, what I have ways to do is I created the poll for next week. So if you want to kill some time while we are waiting for them to be done, and also I will probably scold them in between matches to make sure that. But you can absolutely start do your sign up for next week. Exclamation point next poll will get you there. The
For Luca, hey, why don't you just put Umezawa's shit in your deck, as opposed to putting a waste in your deck? Just so your deck functions. It's a fair point spread. Ancestral Recall.
Oh
Umezawa's
yeah,
shit.
sure. But then I
Yeah.
have fewer lands, which is the thing.
Were you planning on using Strip Mine as a land count?
I did that game.
Okay. I just don't normally put it in my deck as a land drop. I just put it.
Oh, I used it to cast Fallen Shinobi
No.
in
I'm
game
tracking.
1.
I'm tracking. You did. I was just saying, if you have it accounted for as a land drop and you need a land drop, then I guess go ahead and do it. I don't account for it as a land drop. I count it as a spell.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that if you're playing First Strip, and it's actually a lot better to count it as a land. Because, like, for example, I used to play, when it was 2 point, I used to have Strip Mine in Blue Moon because I was playing small points. And actually, you would tap your Strip Mine for mana for, like, multiple turns, usually. You just have it sit there, especially if you're playing Control, you just have it sit down to ambush, like, their utility lands. Like, you wanted to heal their, like, Caracas or something later on when it's gonna be a problem. Obviously, a tempo deck is gonna like look to be a lot more proactive in activating it, but depending on how your deck plays.
Looks like we do have results for the game between Garruk's.
Yeah, the game has ended. Yeah. What's the result?
2-1 Baylite's favor.
Okay. So Bailite and GarruksGardener are they in shot? You said Bailite 2-0?
Baylite 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
Yeah, Baylite leads 2-1.
So I'm patting ground 2. While they're here, please make your matches watchable, because like you were the last people still going and we couldn't watch your match. We had to awkwardly fill the air. Just, it's not that big of a deal, but just
so we can get coverage on it too, because folks want to see the game. It did end up playing out, it sounded like it was a close match, but I think it did play out slightly in Baylite's favor, which, did get to highlight it, man. Is Baylite in points lead right now?
Bailite is points lead, yeah. He's half a point ahead of the second points.
Who's second points?
Second points is Pipes.
Okay.
Okay, so who do we want to watch? Do we want to watch Bailite versus Nicky for the second thing, since we already watched Luca?
Let's look. Yeah, let's watch Nicky v Baylite. That's gonna be bug control versus Abzan control, basically. Abzan big mid range. Yeah, that seems like a good game. Be grindy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a slogfest, but there's gonna be some stuff going on.
It's Canlander. I mean, like, someone can stumble and it can end a lot quicker than you'd expect. But if it goes how both decks are trying to operate, yes, it'll be a grindy game. Both decks are gonna have hand attack. One deck will have stack interaction more than likely. Both decks will be very board impacting, and my guess would be Baylite probably has more creatures. So I don't know who that's going to end up favoring. I would think it really is a toss-up to me. I would think Bug, but that's just my predilections for playing blue decks against Abzan decks. I tend to feel like I win more games than I lose against Abzan on a blue deck. Yeah. But definitely not like, a simple matchup. There's still a lot of decisions to be made right. You don't make them right, you can definitely lose it.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, I was
oh my god,
joking. You alright?
My lungs got really excited about this whole drinking coffee thing, and so they were like, "Oh, I want to get in on the action," and down did my coffee go down the wrong hole.
Gotcha.
I'm still recoiling from that a little bit, but we're watching Nicky versus Bailite.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think I've always joked with Bailite. I'm like, bud, you love playing control so much. Why don't you just play blue? You just play blue.
Blue's a good color. You can just play that.
I think he likes his creatures too much. That's a really big hand.
I'm working on it.
I'm just playing with you, man. I'm not.
Yeah, no. I figured.
There is a Mox. Is there a forest in that hand?
It turns out this hand was actually like perfectly reasonably sized. It's just that the player that we had that last round had a very small hand, so I had to make it gigantic.
All right, there is a green source in that hand. That hand's good. That's a hand that you keep. Yep. Turn 1 elf.
Nicky's on 5, I think.
That's unfortunate. That's one of the things I was saying is, I mean, this should be a grindy game, but I mean, if one player kind of just, it's gonna be resource intensive, right? So mulliganing to 5, like as long as it's a playable 5, you'll still be okay. But like, you're on the play to 5, that's tough. Down to 3 cards in hand, that's gonna be a rough game. I still like Natuko Monastery is hilarious. It's great. Like I love it. But it can't be right. It's 2020. I love the fact that's in that deck. It's a big card. It's a huge card.
The thing is that obviously, like, it's not gonna be on a number of times, but when it's on, that's a hell of a creature. Like, it's 2 mana for like what, a 4/4?
Yeah. I believe it has Vigilance too, if I recall.
Yeah. Okay.
Which means you can use it for mana. I can't recall if it has Vigilance or not. I think it may have Trample. I think it has an Evergreen ability of some variety.
Yeah, no, it has 1 ability. I remember it has 1 ability, but not 2, which is something that I always found weird.
First Strike. Croc put it in there. It's First Strike. Yeah. I always, for some reason, misremembered it as Vigilance. Little Threshold cards.
It has a white. It's weird because like it becomes a 4/4 green and white creature, but it has a white ability, but not a green ability. It feels like it should have both.
She's on top of the deck there. Gerard's Verdict.
Yeah, Gerard's Verdict, and Nicky is just like, I really don't have any cards. Stop doing that, and just
it's just game over. That's kind of one of the things I was saying. Is unfortunately, like Canadian Highlander, like you can be in one of these matchups where like resources are really important, and you mulligan to 5 on the play, and unfortunate to see him go that way. But I think if we get 2 pretty good median hands, we should see a pretty solid game of Magic. Just there wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. I didn't even have time to like fix the names on screen.
What do you think of this bottom hand? I think I'd keep this hand. I mean, you got a Time Walk. You're hoping to hit more lands. You get to Impulse. You may fire off the Time Walk here. It's just an Explore, especially against a discard deck.
Yeah. I think I like that.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Then you have Mystical Teachings. I don't know what this deck teachings for. Or teachings for. Teachings is whatever you do to teach.
My favorite play in one of my favorite plays in Pauper is Teachings for Teachings. You just
it's a fine play.
You do it. You cast Teachings to find whatever you need, and then you flashback Teachings to find your next Teachings, and then usually at that point your opponent just cries. That is.
I honestly think with this hand, I think I like just burning off the Time Walk, then impulsing on the next turn to find the land drop, and then thought seizing them to Mai's land on the following turn. Thought seize them with. I guess you can leave up the trophy.
Yeah.
So they drew the duress. Do they just duress here? Nope. They're gonna Winding Way. And that's one of the reasons why is like if you just get him to turret, it just feels really bad there. I got it. That's a pretty low upside use of Time Walk, but this hand's not very fast. It just needs to build mana up to get to a point of inevitability, in my opinion. There's the land drop. So they're probably just going to cast this now to get around counter magic, which I don't mind. Probably do Winding Way, naming. Nope, they're not going to do it then. All right, so they drew their land. Now you're going to Time Walk just because you want to get this Jace online.
Yep.
Does it have a fetch land? And actually, they have Trophy. Although this, I guess the Vengevine is going to still be one turn off. The Vengevine can't kill the Jace pretty easily, and it's not a card you tend to see very often in the more value-oriented like decks.
Yeah, like
right?
it's a so they had to see it very often in decks that aim to play it fairly, so to speak. And
Correct.
Like, that's,
yeah.
Like you usually want the Vengevine to just go into your graveyard for free, and
the problem's going to be after Jace is going to get. The Vengevine's not going to come down next turn unless they hit a Mox.
Yeah.
So the Jace is going to get a full turn to get untap with a look.
Yeah, and one turn with Jace can be enough.
Oh, that's pretty big in my opinion. There's a T-Del to wipe the board if need be. Yeah, I think once the blue deck gets set up, this is going to be tough. I mean,
they're just gonna be able like. Blue decks are just better than Abzan at continuing to accrue resources. That's the thing, right? Like, Abzan can grind with like Eternal Witnesses and stuff, but Blue decks can just draw cards.
Sure, if they hit a box though, that could be very definitive.
Yeah, if they hit a box, they get to like the Jace went up, so the Jace is gonna leave.
It's a fine play. That's a fine play. I don't mind taking it up there. I don't think you have to. I don't think I would. I think I would just go for cards.
I'm just greedy, man. I'm just brainstorming with the Jace every time.
It's not greedy in this matchup. They don't have burn. Like there's what are they gonna do? Like
play a Vengevine. That's what they're gonna do.
Well, they're not this turn. So only be 3
mana.
Yeah,
that's true.
You get on tap, right? So it's basically Mox or bust. And it's not likely they'd hold their Moxen inside their hand unless they just didn't have low drops. I mean,
Yeah, you would imagine that if they had the Moxen, they would have cast it by now. The rest takes Assassin's Trophy.
Okay, so it takes the board impacting card. That has the ability to stop the Vengevine.
What is your favorite Duress art, and why is it the guy with the gigantic hand?
Oh, it's the original, which is the spider hands. Why is it? I don't know, because I just grew up playing it, man.
I'm with you. The art is great. I wish that I would afford the promo, the one with like the foil old border one.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the funny thing is, they're going to cast this Vengevine. It'll probably get countered or killed, and then they're going to cast 2 creatures on the next turn and get the Vengevine back. So I think this Jace is still going to take a beating.
It would be funny if what they ended up doing was...
don't get rid of that T-Del. Don't get rid of the T-Del, man. Oh, they got rid of the Toxic Deluge. That seems really bad to me.
Can they shuffle their deck?
Yeah, they just did. They just shuffled the Deluge away. I don't like that.
It would be funny if they would go Vengevine, get it countered, then immediately play the Noble Hierarch, and the Vengevine would immediately come back.
Yeah, you could do that. That is functional. That works. Yeah, they're going to counter a Vengevine, which it just never feels good. Like, I guess you got to do it.
What is their graveyard? Because they found the Mystic Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Then put Counterspell back on top.
Yeah, but they have a Mystical Teachings in hand, so I kind of like just playing the island here and saving the Mystic Sanctuary. Because you're going to shuffle your deck if you... I guess you... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a dumbass.
Oh, no, there's a Time Walk. Right.
They haven't activated the Jace yet either, so I'm a dumbass. Yeah. Like, I was thinking... Yeah, I wasn't thinking Jace. I thought he'd already activated. He's not.
Oh, this is gross. Now Jace, the Prince Prodigy, is going to flip and Time Walk again.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Oh, man. And now this Tarmogoyf blocks the Vengevine.
Yeah, the Goyf is what you need to impact the board here, I think. The board is requires some work. Alright, well, they're just going to leave up their Mystical Teachings, which I think is fine. They did not use their Jace main phase. So they can get this Vengevine back out. I don't think they're going to be able to counter... Alright, so yeah, this thing comes out.
Yeah, but the Goyf blocks it.
Yeah, but you're still getting a card off it, right? Because they have Midnight Reaper, which is
Yeah.
still like not
And the
great.
Goif also trades for it, actually. Because the Vengevine is going to become a 5/4 when it attacks attempts to
Correct, but
Exalted.
they have a teachings. I mean, if they want to, they can, in response to this Vengevine coming out before this card resolves, they can find Fatal Push and fetch to put on Revolt, turn on Revolt,
Do they
and
have
then
a
kill
fetch
the
land?
Vengevine. Hmm. They can also
Oh, but
block with Jace. They can
no,
also
yeah.
block with Jace and just flip.
Also, the Jace can turn on Revolt, right? Because it exiles itself. So they
Yeah,
can like block with Jace, flip it, and then activate Vengevine to Fatal Push it.
they may just block and flip and then just not do anything about the Vengevine yet
True.
and tutor for something better. Like if they have dig through time, that wouldn't be bad.
You also could like, yeah, you could also like teachings for
I
push
don't.
and push the hierarch because that does break. That means that
I,
your
I
Goif
kind
now
of
breaks the Vengevine.
I kind of like getting rid of the Midnight Reaper here. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean you're
it's a
gonna
card
have 2
engine.
turns, so
Yeah, but if they're gonna cast this here, if they're gonna return something from the bin, what do they have in the bin for unearth? Because they're looking to unearth right now. If they unearth now, I feel like I doubt they're running. I doubt they're as deep as God, what's it called? Consume the Meek, but that would be a great card to find right here.
that would be dope.
I guess Consume the Meek would actually kill the Goyf and leave the Vengevine. So
Okay,
yeah, that would be
so
quite the
possibly
best.
not as dope.
No, you want to kill the Midnight Reaper first though.
Yeah,
All right,
I
so they give me
mean,
back Winding Way to find creatures.
yeah. I mean, but these physical teachings can find a 1 mana removal spell, and also they're gonna take. They're gonna now take 2 turns in a row again, right? Because the J still hasn't flashed back the Time Walk. So
Correct, but this mystical tutor is probably gonna wipe the board
it
up.
finds Seasons Past. Ooh,
Oh,
it
okay.
found Seasons Past!
I don't
Excuse
think
me?
they don't have enough mana. So seasons pass. They need one more mana.
They can
So
find
they're
the
gonna
land with
chase.
Seasons Past. The Seasons Past can grab the
That's
land
true.
back.
That's true. It gets a land back. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So they're gonna go infinite here. So the way this combo works, guys, is they'll get back mystical tutor. They'll get back time walk. They'll get back a land because they need to be able to cast it. They'll cast Time Walk, and then the next turn they'll cast Mystical Tutor to find Seasons Pass, which is put on the bottom of their library, and they'll take turns forever. Is how this combo ends up working. So it's a cool combo. Time Walk definitely did a lot of lifting here. This is a pretty fair application of Time Walk. This is basically like a turn style, like blue green
They're now
turns.
gonna take infinite turns. This is a pretty fair application of Time Walk.
I think it kind of is. It's really mana
No,
intensive.
I'm with you. It kind of is. It's just kind of funny that
Yeah,
that counts
yeah.
as
It's
fair.
funny that it is fair. It's funny that it is fair, but I think it's
Yeah. No, I think it is fair, and I do think it's funny that it is.
yeah. Well, most of them now are just like 6 mana. All right. On to game 3. So kind of had 2 raffle stomps of games.
Yeah, game 2 was closer than game 1, but it was still pretty solidly in his favor.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. No, it didn't feel like Bailite was getting out of it very easily.
No, I'm with you.
Why is Withering Boon in your deck, derNicky? Oh, it's
I
gonna
don't
counter
think you
something in this
understand.
matchup.
The answer is memes.
It's so bad though.
It is not good. Like, you can just play.
So
There's 3
bad.
separate Essence carriers that you can play.
The sad thing is, all right. So you have to take. Do you take the Goyf here, or do you take the Clamp? Like, I think you got to take the Clamp.
Yeah, Clamp is just such an impossible card to beat if you're control.
Oh, it's not for Bug, but
yeah, it's not great for them to have it there.
Creatures are easier to beat than Clamp is, though.
Yeah, like
sure.
you'll find a way to kill the Goyf.
Yeah, Pernicious Deed or something.
Yeah. Or Fatal Push.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to answer Goyf.
Yeah.
But they agree with us. It's not. Clamp's not going to be happening. But this Withering Boon, God, is so bad.
It is not good. Like, I don't understand.
They just play their Camball out here. They do.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of Fatal Push.
Or they draw it.
Yeah.
I don't think you push anything. I think you know their hand now.
Good
You're just going to counter their boon and then like try to find a fetch land to Fatal Push this
you like
Camball.
boon their Goyfs or their Stoneforge.
Yeah, and you can gain the life back. Oh, there's Stoneforge. Well, get in there for 3 with Camball. Campbell's Chunky Soup. Oh. Ace Camball is Bailite's ode to Storm being a deck.
I mean, the hat is pretty good. Like it's
Yeah,
it's
this
not
is
embarrassing even without Storm
no.
being
It's
there.
it's not the it's fine against like blue decks and against Storm, but like I play Campbell. Don't get me wrong, in like most of my black and white decks.
Yeah,
But
Shadow of Doubt would have been
it's also
awesome
like
in
not
response to
something that I
Stoneforge, but not with the other
yeah
two.
yeah
There
their
wasn't
mana
enough mana
is
to do that.
too low. They need to hit
Ooh,
like
Omen of
land
the
toxic.
Sea.
Yeah, they need to land like right now though.
Yeah, I mean, you cast the Omen of the Sea to dig for land. Or I guess Serum Vision's better. No, it's
No, I
not
wouldn't
better
Serum Visions.
because you.
I'd omen because Serum
No,
Visions is a
I'm
buy
with
draw.
I'm with you. Sorry, no, because I didn't
Yeah.
like. You have no control of what you draw with Serum Visions.
Yeah, I think this one's over, guys. I don't think I know it's over. They're just dead. So they take 2.
Oh yeah, because then it's 7
4
life.
plus 2. So that's yeah, that's enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Exaxis, right? They're taking exactly 7. 5 from the Kambal plus 2 from this.
yeah,
What triggers? Yeah.
it's 7 exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's game. Yeah, even if you'd omen there, I guess if you omen there and you find a fetch land, you're taking 4 off Camball. You can kill Camball with the fetch. That's 5 damage total. Yeah, you're still dead. You're dead either way. Yeah, just mana advantage kind of sealed the game up. So
Yeah.
you know, the
Yeah,
games
we saw
developed
games. Yeah, they weren't the best games that we've ever seen in our life.
No. Unfortunate. You want to see them closer, but it is what it is. Both decks did get to do their thing at least once. One of them twice. And yeah.
I put us on loading versus
Black Tech versus
versus GarruksGardener. Yeah, tokens.
Tokens. Okay.
There's a Deathred Shaman
Oh.
versus Shriek on the board. Both players have about 78 lands on the field. Loading has a couple of cards in hand.
I pretty highly favor Please Wait because they have a draw engine online. They are at a very low life total, though. They're going to get Dome for 2 here. So they're down to 3. They can't draw as it stands right now. They're going to gain 2 life. Okay. Well, they're still dead to the factory on the backswing, so they need to Mise this turn, and the Crater Hoof is out of their deck, so they can't
There's a
haste
Nether
into
Spirit, which is a magic card, I suppose.
That's fine.
Every time I see a new card coming from loading deck, I'm like, what?
I play that card in like Pox where I have like literally just that as a creature in the deck.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And then I have like creature lands and like Curse Scroll. It's an older build of it. It's very fun. I find it fun. And then like Kaya's and like Liliana's and whatnot. Crucible Worlds and stuff. That was a draw. They are still dead though. That's still dead. I guess they can fight. No, they're not. They can fight. They can fight and kill their Garruk. So they can fight the Shriekmaw, kill their Garruk, and then only take 4. So they have another draw. Depending on what the last. Okay, that's not how you. That doesn't work. So now they're just dead. They died of the Mishra's Factory plus the 3/2. They had to fight the 3/2 and lose their Garruk.
No, that wasn't game 3 though, so we're still gonna get.
Yep.
First thing we see is a Crater Hoof and an Andres Forerunner in the yard. This has been a very grindy match. I don't think that there's no way that they got there after being cast, right? Like, I'm sure that...
Something crazy would have had to have happened, like someone cast a Consume the Meek or like an Instant Speed Wrath, of which there are not many. Like, you could have like Consume the Meek, you can have Cycle...
if I had to get, like, you can resist an Andres Forerunner swing, especially on like a relatively empty board. I would guess that the Crater Hoof got other Withering Boon, because apparently that's how that people play these days, or kneeled in some other way.
Yeah, whatever floats people's boats. They can play Withering Boon if they want. I don't know if Loading's playing Withering Boon. They could be.
Well, one way to find out.
God, that card's so bad though.
I'm with you.
Why do you people do it yourselves?
I mean, the answer is Mink, right? Like, it's Mink's fault.
Yeah. Well, it just hurts my soul.
Let's go check the deck list for.
I I haven't looked at Loading's deck recently, like, but I frankly wouldn't be shocked if they also just had like a rando like Decree of Pain in there and just cycled it off to like kill a bunch of elves, like blank a Crater Hoof or something. Okay, Wrench Mine. This
The
is
deck does not play Withering Bone, so we got that.
okay. So Loading is at least half sane. Thank you, Loading.
It does not play Decree of Pain. Also,
Wrench Mind is probably not going to be at its best here with an active Sylvan Library, although based on the hand attack, they may be taking. I think normally you take life loss. I'd take some life loss there, at least 4, probably 8. I may be more greedy with my my Sylvan Libraries, but I tend to want to get through cards unless I'm fetching. At this point, they can make tokens though, right? 1/1s and block, unless this Rhea dies or Reese. What's this card's name? Reese the something redeemed. It's a 1/1 elf that makes more elves, and I believe has a secondary ability for a bazillion mana that like populates or something like that, or makes another copy of everything, or puts a +1/+1 counter on stuff. Okay, yep, we're making a 1/1, and we're gonna block this 2/1. Maybe they have like Tragic Slip. They could already kill the race. I don't know what. I don't know what's going on here.
oh, that's a Reese that redeemed. I thought it was a safe hold delete.
No, it's Reese. Yeah, I forget what her other ability is. Like I know her first ability. Her other ability is like a 6 mana ability, and it like puts a +1/+1 counter on everything.
I'm putting it on, so let him figure it out.
I think it makes everything bigger. Or it makes it
another 6 to copy each token.
Yeah,
and then it's 3 to make a 1/1.
Yeah, the first one I always know. The other one never comes up, so I always forget.
It's 4 hybrid Selesnya.
Yeah, I just make a bazillion things. Basically populate, but populate times your board. That's a good one. Smuggler's Copter, help him get through cards.
That's a card that does that, right? That just makes a copy of each token. What is it called? Parallel Lives?
Something like that, yeah. I think whenever a token comes into play, it makes another copy of a token.
No, yeah. Parallel Lives is the one where
4 mana spell. It's got the wolf heads.
Yeah. You copy each token. No, it's the one that if you would make a token, you make 2. But that's one of them that just copies each token. It was in Onslaught.
I forget, man. You know which one I want to see played more. I'm trying to remember the name of the card. It's the one that like used to get played in like the standard legal infect deck. Why are they? All right, they're gonna tragic slip this. Are they gonna kill this thing? You gotta kill it. Don't let it block. Oh, it's blocking.
It's blocking.
Oh no. Oh no. Why are we letting them get cards? Why are we letting them get cards? Anyway, there's this one. I'm trying to remember the name of the card. It has like basically it has like the precursor art for the wolf that was in standard with Oko, the food wolf on it, and it's an enchantment. It's a 3 mana enchantment. Whenever you target a creature with anything, it gets like +3/+3 or +2/+2. So it was like an infect card. I'm trying to remember that card's name. I would love to play that card in Canlander. Okay, someone know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now I'm going deep into this rabbit hole of trying to find the Onslaught card. So
okay.
What's the expansion code for Scourge? SCG?
Yeah, I think so. That seems about right. All right.
Okay.
My guess should be Loading is drawing to lands right now. They've had a lot of removal turns, but they haven't really developed anything. And I think in this case, like the Sylvan Library is going to really start to take over the game, especially if they're able to find their mana. They're on lower resources, but they have far better selection. This Intangible Virtue is not my idea of like a phenomenal card, but with a lot of the cards in their deck, it can definitely put in some work. For instance, they just like do 1 land plus Secure the Waste. They can have 6 power on the board, which is not bad.
Parallel Evolution. I found it.
Okay.
It has flashback.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was the card you were looking for? Sorry.
I forget the card's name, but it's got like a it's an old like infect card. Whenever you target a creature, it gets +2/+2. So whenever you target a creature,
Wild Defiance.
That's it. Yeah. It's got like the original art for like the wolf that was with Oko and standard.
Yeah.
the prickly wolf. I forget what the card's called, but
Wicked Wolf.
That's it. Yeah, big old
Although it
prickly
is
wolf.
weird because this card takes place in like this is Innistrad, right? This card came out in Abzan's Restored, whereas that wolf was in.
The
I
last
guess
set.
it just follows Garruk because
Yeah, I
that
don't
wolf was in.
But yeah, I've always wanted to play Wild Defiance again. I just think the card's really sweet. It's +3/+3 too. That's, I mean, it's a total investment card, but god damn, it makes your shit into houses. Just like wreck people. Slap a rancor on something and just freaking go to town. It's got to be instant or sorcery though. This is a card. There's a Master of the Wild Hunt. That makes some tokens. I think loading's in trouble here. I feel like they've missed land drops for probably about 2 to 3 turns. They may have like a damnation or something in hand, and if they hit land, maybe they can kind of come back into this.
Yes, speaking of wolves, Master of the Wild Hunt is.
Yep. Yeah, there's a guy that makes wolves. There's a guy that knows a thing or two about a wolf.
Yeah, he knows. He's got.
All right, there's a land. We have a damnation because it needs to happen.
Damnation just clears things up.
There it is. Yep. There. Yeah, I felt like he had something like that because he kept this. They kept this hand, and yeah, that makes sense to me. It also turns the Gaia's Cradle off, so Gaia's Cradle is now
no piece of cardboard that doesn't do anything.
For a bit, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's gonna go back to do stuff. Yeah, for sure. That's kind of how that card operates. But Greenwheel Liberator.
Yeah, Bailite. Actually, Bailite's mentioning Yeheni's expertise. The card's really good. It's a really good card. I just don't oftentimes find that, like, I feel like if I'm Damnation deep, I'm already deep enough. That was a Snuff Out that was just cast. It's pretty sick.
Oh, Rancor. We're gonna do some prank.
Yeah. What do you think they do here? I think they start discarding cards out of both players' hands.
So they had 2/2 cards in hand. Yeah, I think I like discarding cards.
Yeah, reason being, I mean, you got this 3/1 that when you get down to 0 cards, you get to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, plus you're ahead on board, right? You want players to if you're ahead on board, you want players to have fewer resources.
Yeah, I mean, I think habitually, like, typically speaking, it'd be stronger if your opponent didn't have a library in play, but
yeah, but they can't draw with library anymore. They're at 4 life.
No, they cannot at this point. They are very close to dead. They're, matter of fact, dead on board.
Yeah. So like,
I would have said a turn or two ago.
In Miri's Guile mode.
I would have said a turn or two ago, like loading was in a possibly a bad spot, but they've obviously been able to turn it.
Yeah.
You know, that extra land drop. Yeah, Bailite. I like Yeni's expertise too. The mana advantage off of it is very nice, being able to cast a 3-drop post resolution.
Yeah. The only thing is that, like, the way that my decks end up working out usually is that if I want a 3rd Wrath, I would rather play Into the North. Dead of Winter, just because it's 1 mana cheaper. But you need to win maximum 2 colors to support Dead of Winter. You cannot support it if you're more than 2.
Sure, and I mean, even then, like, Yeni's expertise is really sweet, but it only deals little things.
Yeah, that's why I like Dead of Winter, because it can
or just Damnation.
I mean, the thing is that I'm assuming the first Wrath that you play in a black deck is Toxic Deluge. The second one is Damnation, and then if you want a 3rd one, I think it's between Yeni's expertise, Languish, and Dead of Winter, depending on how your deck is set up.
I don't know that, like, you always would play a Damnation before or a Dead of Winter. In some more low end kind of control blue-black decks, I don't really want Damnation, but I'll play the other one because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have a conclusion here. Basically, you know, it kind of came down to, like, loading was able to find their land. Their land was able to turn on their Wrath effect. The Sylvan Library was likely cycling some pretty bad cards off the top of their deck, and they just couldn't get there. I do think, just as a heads up for GarruksGardener, I think there's a possibility, and I wasn't watching extremely critically, so if I misspeak on this, please correct me. I think there was a chance that you probably could have just peeled 2 right off the bat, like gone down to 12 right off the bat before the pressure was on, and try to get to better cards maybe later. I mean, I don't know if it would have made a difference here, but, you know, it was something that could have been done earlier. I like the Miri's Guile up there. Yeah, it kind of was Miri's Guile this game. I can't recall if they drew off of it in the mid game or if they did not, but yeah. Anyways,
Luca won. Sorry, Bailite won 2-1, right?
Yes,
in the
yes,
featured
yes.
match.
That was 2-1 split. That's correct.
And let's figure out if I can figure out what Para and Bailite, which are real people that exist, and I'm sure they can find. Are they still playing? No.
Yeah, what GarruksGardener is saying is they had a 4-drop and a 5-drop right off the top of their deck. Yeah, and in that situation, I'm just looking at the chat right now, but I think I like just peeling them because you're probably looking for mana to cast them. Like you just peel them because they're not going away. And like in the early game when they don't have a lot down on the board, like I think I just like ripping them because you're not under pressure yet, and like hopefully it can find you something better next. I don't know. Like I've definitely killed myself with the Sylvan Library before. Not killed myself literally, but like gone too low and then like died. But more often than not, I kind of treat it like Dark Confidant, where it's like the life loss doesn't matter. Like you'll figure it out, and the extra cards will win you the game. Generally speaking. Although if you're Arakasi, you just always die to your Dark Confidants. You know.
Every single time.
No, not every single time, but like I always talk it up, and like he talks it up, and then like I've had a couple games where he just dies to it, and I'm like, sucks, bud.
Do we know what Para and Blahguy did?
I'm sorry.
Oh, Blahguy won
Say again.
2-1 over Para. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's head towards the last match. Per round 3. Screenshots of this stuff.
Yeah, it's really funny, GarruksGardener. With like Sylvan Library, it's like the only time I will not like rip cards off the top is if like there's one fetch land and 2 really bad cards that I don't want, and then I'll just fetch and like plan on doing it the turn after. But if like they're all crappy, I'll just draw them all, just to get them out of there, so I can hopefully find something better on the next turn. That's just how I treat it. But I mean, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it just literally is Miri's Guile. You know, so. Or you could put abundance in your deck and just like rip them all the time. That abundance combo going on. You can have like two really bad enchantments in your deck. Now, Sylvan Library is not a bad enchantment, but it is an investment card. It doesn't really do anything.
Being called by people.
All right, so what do we have? We have Bailite versus Luca.
Yeah, we have Bailite versus Luca. This is gonna be pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
I think it slightly favors Luca.
No, I don't. I just.
You think Bailite can stabilize fast enough?
Oh yeah, Bailite's got faster mana, got better mana development, has more kill spells, and has hand attack.
Yeah, but Luca's playing 11 points, so.
No, he's not.
Not anymore. We fixed that.
Yeah, I mean, like being fair, like he's not wrong. They're not wrong. Like Strip Mine in that deck is a 2-point card. I'd give them Strip Mine for a point in that deck.
Yeah, what's up?
You're unmuted.
Fine, I'll mute myself.
Thank you. Are we good to go?
Bailite hasn't shared their hand yet. As soon as they do, though.
Sure. Okay. See it.
Yeah, no, I think I like Bailite's side in this one. I think they're just going to be able to grind a little better. Tempo style decks, tempo mid-range decks versus like true mid-range control decks can be kind of bizarre that way. Like Luca's certainly like not a dog in the matchup though. It's, you know, if anything, it's like a 55-45.
Yeah, it's definitely close.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of play to it. There is a significant bit of play to this matchup. And hopefully we have some good games. Hopefully, like, we kind of had... I guess it's kind of like the crux of Magic, right? Like, I mean, generally, like, per match set, you have, like, one really good game and then, like, 2 games that, like, kind of just come down to, like, if both players are playing well, the variance, the luck of the draw. You know, and deck selection, stuff that doesn't really matter as far as how you play the deck. The hand's really awkward.
Yeah, I don't know why Bailite hasn't shared their hand yet.
Well, I'm looking at Luca's
yeah.
hand.
Luca's hand is on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Bailite's having some problems with handcuts.
Who is on the play? Luca is. I may keep this on the play. All right, they ditch it. Now they have to go to 5. Yeah, I think I would have kept that on the play because you can play a tap land turn 1. You're not doing anything else, and then you can cast something on next turn. This hand's god awful. You got to pitch this one back. Fetid Pools is not a card I'm a huge fan of in tempo or mid-range decks. just too slow. It's good value late game, but like you're just looking to have consistent land drops in the early game that produce
I played
mana.
in Time Vault.
Yeah, it's fine there. It's a
Yeah.
two-color deck. You know, it's a control
It is a
deck. It's
color deck, yeah.
37 plus lands. You know, like you play it in that deck.
Yeah, I play
The one
exactly
that
37, in fact.
Yeah, I mean most control decks do. It's a pretty standard
I
control.
play 39 in Blue Moon.
That's a lot.
The deck needs to hit its first, like, 8 land drops.
You probably played a lot more controlling than I do. I win a lot of my games with Blue Moon that I play, but I play 37. I play a lot more flash creatures in it now. Just a trade-off early into pressure walkers. I just find you just can't miss on that deck if you build it a certain way. Like if you build it like kind of the old school way, you really can't miss anything. If you miss something, like you're just gonna die to it. Especially the walkers. Like you do have stuff like magnetic sinkhole,
there you
but
go.
like brazen borrower.
Okay, we have Bailite's hand, which for whatever reason I have Bailite in its call twice. I don't know. Hangouts has been a quality service as usual. But it's we should be pretty close to being.
All right, Luca did go to 5. I think you should keep this 5. It's not a good 5. You put back the Vidillion Clique and
on 5 you can't really afford to.
I think you put back the Gilded Goose here because the Goyf will actually win the game. You have a way to answer a threat. If you hit a blue source, you can brainstorm. If you hit a green source, you can Tarmogoyf. You don't put back the land, that's for sure. I mean, maybe you put back Tech Edge. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is close. I think I would have kept Brainstorm, but this is gonna be a short one. I'm sorry to say, I don't think on this fewer resources.
I just don't think Luha has the tools to win this match unless their draw.
No, and there's
unless their draw are like spectacular, but even then
there are two card advantage cards and a board answer in Bailite's hand, which.
Like, the only thing that could put them back into the game is the top deck recall and draw well off of that. Because then the resource game goes...
They have to top deck an island first. They have to top deck a blue source, so...
Yeah, sure. It's fine.
Yeah, I think...
No, you say the island, not basic swamp. That's the wrong basic.
I do think that, it just does nothing for them. They can kill this thing, but they're not going to. They should wait and kill the Courser. I mean, they're not going to know that there's a Courser in hand, but I wouldn't kill a Mire Triton. I'd let that thing be. I mean, it does kind of suck because it blanks your Tarmogoyf, but you can't even deploy your Tarmogoyf yet, so it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, no, this is not probably winnable. I don't see it. But yeah, I do think Bailite is going to be favored. And I think going back to this, like, for decision-making and just, like, of note, I do think that first 7 was borderline, but I think it was keepable. On the play. On the draw, I would have pitched that thing back every time and hoped to get better. I would have probably gotten better. I would have hoped to have. But a tap land on turn 1 is not going to be as big a deal on the play. I don't know. Yeah, I think the win percents in that first hand were higher than this one. But, you can't know what you're going to mulligan into. Is castable, at least. So that Force Will is a good draw. I mean, that's something that allows you to at least stay in the game, but not for very long. That's a Siege Rhino. Like, yeah. They know there's a Tireless Tracker in hand. They're going to have to accept that it's probably going to get to draw them 2 cards because, all right, what are we doing here? We're killing that?
I don't feel that. I don't agree with that too much. They know that they have to contend with like a Siege Rhino.
They also have this like Force of Will. They don't know they have to contend with the Siege Rhino. That was just a draw for the turn. They know they have to contend with the Tireless Tracker.
Yeah.
I just don't think a 2/1's high value enough. They could be trying to build equity inside their Tarmogoyf.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think I would just taking the 2. Yeah, because I'd probably just go to game 2 at this point. Me personally, like they're a trooper.
If they throw like a trop, they can start deploying this Goyf and start blocking stuff.
No, yeah, they can block stuff. That's about it, though. They're not going to get through with the Fallen Shinobi. It's just, this is,
Well, but the longer, I don't know.
They're going to land a Siege Rhino right here, and the game will promptly end.
Yeah, the game.
Nope, they're going to, Bailite, being a value junkie as always, going to land their Courser, try to get a land off the top, get the land off the top. Do nothing else. I would just put down the Siege Rhino just to end the game, because your opponent's obviously doing jack and shit, and just kill him. Just kill him. Yeah, they drew another irrelevant card. Yeah, I would just put the Rhino down and go to town. I mean, they're at 15. You put them on, what, a 3-turn clock with that, based on the progression of the rest of your threats. You got kicker removal, 2 removal spells, some life gain. I mean, like, you can't lose this one, really. Well, that at least is a godsend. They miss on their duress, but they also get to see the news that, like, nothing bad's going to happen to anything they put on the board. Now we've got to see a Rhino.
Yeah, so Rhino finally shows up to the party.
And concede? That'd be my guess. Yeah. I probably would have packed it in just for information.
You have drawn, like, you're only on black cards, and you have drawn.
Yeah. I think the commitment to Tectonic Edge and Strip Mine is...
Azra's Mock Shaper. Which ninja is that one?
That's the one that makes... I can explain it. It's a 3/3. It costs
no, that's
4.
the one that makes stuff indestructible, right?
Yeah, it gives stuff indestructible. It's a 3/3 in black, 3/3. Azra Ninja has ninjutsu black and 1, and when it enters the battlefield, when the ninjutsu's, it gives another creature indestructible. Yeah, that's the card. It's an interesting card. I haven't really found a home for it. Are they playing that one?
Yeah. It was in their hand.
Oh, okay. I didn't see their hand at the end there. I just saw the game was over. I kind of stopped watching for a second and was talking about other cards because it was
that's fair.
It was a raffle stomp. What do you think of this hand?
There certainly is a Miss in the Hate Naga in it.
I think I would keep this. It's greedy.
It's a little greedy. You really need these Birds of Paradise to go your way, but...
It's not a red deck. It's not a red deck, though, and you get an opt on the next turn plus duress.
I think I'm down to keep it. You do need, like... You do need... Next turn, you get to opt and duress, and, like...
Or Inquisition.
Or Inquisition. Like, you get to, like, hand attack them and try to find another land if you don't kill it.
Yeah, well...
Bailite's hand is very land-heavy. They have essentially 6 lands in hand. I think I would send this back.
No, they've got a recruiter. So they have a recruiter of the guard they expect to deploy on turn 2. That will find them a Stoneforge Mystic, which will find them...
How are they deploying it on turn 2?
They have a... what's it called? Nature's Lore. 3 visits, I'm sorry.
That's cost 2 mana. So turn 1 they play something.
Turn 3. Turn 3.
Yeah.
And they can play out Skull Clamp and, do that. Now, their hand's going to get ripped apart. Siege Rhino wasn't a bad draw. Rankle can deal with Siege Rhino, though. If they can get mana sources. I do like keeping this hand, though. Against a non-red deck, they drew the land anyways. Yes, I think that was a good keep on their part. I like that keep decision, on the play especially. So...
Find basic Swamp. And now they get to do Inquisition of Kozilek away the Recruiter of the Guard. Duress away the 3 visits.
Yeah, they could actually not even Rankle next turn. They could just hand attack and see that their opponent's on jack and shit, and go ahead and attack with the birds and deploy the snake.
Oh, the Miss Syndicate Naga? Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. I don't mind that because their board's so open. And
they decided to opt first, which I think was a mistake. No.
Yeah. They're finding land. They wanted land.
No, that's fair. I think at what you do, though, you start with either Duress or Inquisition of Kozilek, because then you keep yourself open to the possibility.
But you're utterly not wrong, but it doesn't matter. They want to land. I think any land is what they want. So
and that's fair.
Proper sequencing is, yes, to opt after hand attacking to help.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. Ooh, Questing Beast, you say?
It's a lot of 4-drops.
Yeah, it's a lot of 4-drops when you are on 3 lands.
Rankle also is not very good against Caracas.
Yeah, Caracas is going to handle the Rankle.
I honestly think you just deploy these idiot snakes and you put 2 3/1s on the board. They don't have a 3-drop. And then you have like 12 power.
Some blue idiots.
Then you have 12 power, and then you have a flyer. Like, yeah, I think they're going to see them attack with the birds here. Yeah, they're going to deploy their snakes. They're probably going to get there with this because Bailite's hand was a little more clunky.
The Naga is the one that makes copies of itself.
Yeah, so it's going to like have 12 power on the board.
It can snowball pretty fast. Yeah.
Hugely. Yeah, very very fast.
Especially because Bailite doesn't have a play this turn, so we're just going to see.
My guess is you do not waste land this turn. They're going to play around the Rankle here. They don't know they have Rankle, but they're going to play around it. I think I would just deploy the flyer.
The Stifle Bird, yeah.
Yeah, on their EOT, like just see what they do, or you can stifle their wasteland. But like you're just gonna hammer fist them with these 3/1s, force them to deploy something. I mean, they can deploy the questing beast, but like that's not really gonna stop this. I mean, they may just even put the siege rhinoceros down.
I feel like maybe some rhinocerosing.
Yeah, I just don't know if Rhinoceros does it here.
I mean, the questing beast just trades for these two stupid Nagas, right? You put it in, you attack, and then just.
I wouldn't trade. I would just attack them. I would attack the shit out of them, man.
But no, because the questing beast is gonna eat, like, it has vigilance, so it's gonna eat your miss in the head when they attack anyway.
Who cares?
So yeah.
You're making 3 more. Who cares? Like, just attack into it.
Just like, I'm gonna outproduce you with this stupid
You will. It's a fucking spawn right, man.
You're not wrong.
You just fucking run them over.
Do you stifle the Stifle Bird to kill the Siege Rhino thing, or do you just make a Stifle Bird?
I would probably just make a Stifle Bird because it's a flyer.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna, like, outpace. It's just like, you attack for 3 instead of... You outpace the 3 life. But yeah. Oh, they're at 1 life. You're right. Actually, they're at 0, right? Because Rankle just gets it done? Or Melting Pulse? Caracas is stopped.
If they hit, okay, Maelstrom Pulse just wins the game on the spot. So that is 15 power. Yeah, this snake just.
Oh, Rankle wasn't castable. Right. Okay.
No,
that's the part that was missing.
They pitched the bird. Like I was saying, the bird. They missed their attack step. Just concede.
Oh no.
No, just concede. Don't make them do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're gonna make them do it. I would just concede there. That's just a misclick. Don't play.
Yeah, no, Bailite is concede.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's just a misclick. Like, but yeah, gotta see the birds.
It's there. I think it's.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Luca had the game. Like, literally, just needed to attack for.
Yeah, I'm sure they intended to. Probably just got excited because they were smashing with snake ninjas.
Alright, so Luca has
their best.
Is that a leap?
Yeah, they play a bunch of cantripping things that make their stuff unblockable, so their ninjas can get in. Doesn't make it unblockable.
I see.
Yeah, they do.
We're gonna get a hex drinker.
Yeah. What do you think? They can't cast this Hinderturk, which is good for them because you don't really want to have to force negation that. You probably will pitching Leap because Leap is a pretty bad card.
Oh yeah, I am so down to pitch his Leap to force of negation. I would say that's its best use. Like, it's better to do that than cast it.
You don't per se have to unless they're drawing black Anasaurs. They don't.
Oh yeah,
they draw
for sure. But like, if they do, I'm so down to do that.
Bailite's hand again is kind of awkward. Like they really do need to draw land here. If they kind of miss and draw another 3 or 4 drop, their hand doesn't really do all that much.
Maybe they add a Kambal to their hand.
I think you just wasteland them here. If they're doing nothing, like I kind of like just wastelanding the shit out of them. Like,
I don't hate it.
They're not doing anything. You just wasteland them. Like,
yeah, it's a little awkward. Like, we know that the way that... Well, you also want to get this...
No. I tell you, like, I would get a gut feel. I'd be like, hey, bud, like, you play 2 lands and play nothing into my threat. Like, you either have a removal spell or you have jack and shit in your hand. You know, if you have removal, you have threats on curve.
What Bailite needs is a second black source more than a 3rd land, right? Like, you also need a third land.
No. They need a 3rd land. More than a black source. Black source gives you, like, friggin' him, but who cares about him? Like, you want to deploy threats. You got to get some threats down. Like, so we're gonna see removal here. Like,
yeah, cast down takes down the hex drinker.
No, like I think if you draw a land here, you don't even him. I think you put a threat down. Like, I think you want to hit Lord. Yeah, that's a land.
It's landish. It does that.
Honestly,
does a land impression.
Like I could honestly see force of negationing this. Like, that's very aggressive, but I could see it here. Because like that leap sucks. That leap sucks. Like, it's just so bad. And then like you wasteland them and put them in the Stone Age. And then, like, you can either play out your Strix. I play out the Strix. Or you could, like, Tainted Pack. Probably Tainted Pack next turn. Or they put a Cradle down. And now you just hammer probably their Black Source.
Yeah, I mean, now that there's a Cradle down. Oh, he cradles the Black Source. That's a good read.
Yeah, no, I would blow up the Black Source, too, because it's the biggest removal color. It gives him Abrupt Decay, Lilianas. Like, it gives him Hymns. Like, a lot of double requirements in that. And, like, white, like, what do they have at 3? Like, They don't have Gideons in the deck. All right, so they draw Winding Way, which is uncastable. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna mana screw them. Just mana screw them out. And it doesn't lead to great games. So
No, but I mean, it's better. It's better to watch a game where your opponent actively try to mana screw the opponent rather than one where
now, here's a
one
hot
where
take.
like one player just didn't draw enough lands.
Yeah. Here's a hot take. Like, I think you put that land in untapped, take the damage, and then just Shadow Rift this Strix, even though it's nothing, just to draw the card. Just get it out of your hand.
Yeah, I'm Shadow Rifting this
because you have the advantage right now. You just got to cement more advantage on the board. Now you want to just Tainted Pact. You don't want to Shadow Rift EOT. Just Tainted Pact for probably Yuriko, and then just murder them. Like,
yeah, or Yuriko's gonna get
some big dumbass.
Ancestral Recall is also a reasonable card to find. Yeah, I think I would be interested in doing that.
Or Edric. Edric was fine too.
Like, I wish to subscribe to that particular mailing list.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna see this other card next turn. The 3/2 legend. Yeah, this one. If Bailite hits a land this next turn, like it now.
I mean, they still can't hymn. So then you draw a land, and it needs to be black, and then they can deploy either the Winding Way or the Green Flare.
You play out the Green Flare. I think you play the Overgrown Tomb untapped, and then Shadow Rift this thing just to get deeper in your deck. I really don't think you need to save Shadow Rift.
No, you already have the Strix is already basically unblockable. I think you don't need a Shadow Rift.
No, the reason I Shadow Rift there is just to get it out of my hand.
I get it. Like, my point is that, like, it's not like the Shadow Rift will have more value later. You already have an enabler for your ninjas.
It does, because if you find a ninja, then you can ninjutsu your ninja, hit with it, and then
you can shadow your ninja. Right.
You shadow your ninja. Yeah. That's why they're in the deck. But, like, in this part of the game, they're just really not doing much. And, like, as you can see, like, Bailite's drawing great cards, but, like, just can't deploy them.
Can't cast them, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi there, True Name Nemesis. That is a magic card. I don't know that I like.
No, I don't either. But I don't think that it matters that much here. What are they going to do? Deploy a 2-mana threat and get it fatal pushed?
No, I was trying to figure out exactly how. Like if there was a way to heap up memory lapse, but there wasn't. I don't think.
There was, I believe. They played out a tomb this turn. They
played the Fairy Pools, I think.
They did not. They played that last turn. They played Overgrown Tomb this turn and put it into play tapped.
Oh, then they should have 100% put it into play untapped, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter that much. They're going to play a Tarmogoyf here. They're going to play Winding Way for lands. No, they're going to look for lands. I think this is too greedy. They found their lands, but it just doesn't do anything now. Like, you're just doing nothing for a turn again. And
notably, still no double black, even in the lands they found.
The Windswept Heath could find black, right? Could find Bayou.
Yeah, they found the Godless Shrine, but then they have a Snowhover Forest.
Okay.
They still don't have double black.
I assume they're looking to play a Tarmogoyf and a Finks next turn. All right, don't play your Atreus. I mean, you can, but like I wouldn't. Just leave up your mana. Shadow Rift, please. Get a new card.
Yeah, this Shadow Rift should have been out of their hand by now.
Just get rid of it. Just kill them. I mean, they're ostensibly dead anyways, because they're going to play a land here. I mean, I guess they could play a Tarmogoyf first, and then they still don't have enough mana to do anything other than...
Like, at this point, with Bailites at 7, you kind of don't care what they do outside of... Like, you just don't want them to gain life or kill this True Name. Those are the things that you would rather them not do.
Yeah. It's pretty hard to kill True Name without, like... I guess they do have, like...
They have Tita. Like, they have Wraths.
They also have probably Plague Engineer, knowing how they play and build. All right, that resolves. Doesn't really do anything, though, to the board, so it's fine. And they're going to try to resolve a Finks here, would be my guess. And then that's going to get countered, and that's going to be game over. It's not quite game over, because they are missing 1 damage.
Yeah, they're still on a 2-turn clock.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this gets countered. Please, for the love of God, cycle off this Shadow Rift.
Nope.
Please. Just cycle it off. It's so bad here. Like, none of your stuff can be blocked. I guess you can save.
You don't have ninjas. Just.
Yeah.
You know what a Shadow Rift could find you? A ninja.
Yeah, could have.
But no, I think Bailite's gonna die while this Shadow Rift is still in Lucas's hand.
I also think not playing out the Atreus is a mistake here. Toxic Deluge is the most likely answer that they're going to have access to. So I think it makes the most sense to
Right, try to
to
look for
play
an
that.
answer.
Well, to play Atreus so that you can't be blocked, right? Because Toxic Deluge wasn't an answer there. It kills you. It kills your opponent. Like they were at
Right.
1. So they're
Well,
just
but you
playing
know the
this thing
things are
now.
coming. You know that there's things around.
All right. Well, we're gonna Shadow Rift this thing, which didn't really matter. You're probably not gonna blow up the Finks, and I guess you wouldn't put yourself out of lethal range. And this is that's game. All right, guys. Well,
All right,
Luca was able to get the
congratulations to
match, so
Luca
you
for
you
winning
did
the
predict it
match.
correctly. Congratulations, man. The Bug Ninjas deck looked pretty good. Most badass 11-point deck I've ever seen. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
That was actually the last match. The last match today, I think.
Oh, everyone else is done.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Well, I'm glad I could make it out, man. If everyone else is done, I'll probably hit the road here relatively soon.
Do you mind entertaining the crowd for like 2 minutes while I punch the results in? Because I want to like put I want to punch the results in so I can put the rankings on screen in a second.
Sure. I'll entertain the burgeoning chat room of Twitch.
Look.
I gotta get my digs in. It's all daggers to me, man. It's just how I am. I'm sorry. It's my nature. Yeah, some pretty sick games today. Definitely cool to see some new decks kind of rising to the top. I could see Bug there. I've seen Blue Black in the past, but I don't think you have had a Bug deck win the event yet.
I don't remember if Nicky has ever gotten there in the past, because Nicky has been playing like.
No, I meant win the event. People played Bug, I think, but I meant win.
Yeah,
the
no.
event.
I'm trying to figure out if they ever got there. It would be the win. I don't think it's happened.
Yeah.
Para 1-2-0. Holy Creston. And then we saw Luca win 2-1 on Bailite. We have loading and beams. Beams 1-2-0. Okay.
Bailite. If you had more Withering Boon in your deck, you wouldn't have gotten killed. Sorry, bud. Yeah, that was some rough variance to Bailite. Yeah, just not a lot of lands. Not a lot of lands. And unfortunately, well, you need lands to play Magic sometimes, unless you're playing Storm. And you just need Black Lotus.
Usually how it works, yeah. And then Para went 1 and 2, and then Nikki went 1 and 2, and then Arakasi didn't show up, and then Blahguy went 2 and 1, and then Beams went 2 and 1. And then loading went. I know this is fascinating hearing me just say. And then GarruksGardener went 0-3. And we didn't have anybody new, I don't think.
No one knew.
So I will just quickly put the thing on screen.
Well, that may have been the fastest event that I've ever been a part of. That was very rapid.
Yeah, I mean, we've had about 1 hour and 30-minute streams in the last. It's not crazy. Like it's happened. We've had it before. What is Arakasi in this list? There you go. So let me quickly reorder the thing.
Well, we started 1837, so that's less than 2 hours for 3 rounds.
The stream has lasted 1 hour and 40 minutes. Oh, but I guess we had to restart the stream like 10 minutes in.
Yeah. No, it was relatively quick. How'd you like that snake? The snake ninja, the Naga.
Oh,
snake?
yeah.
Missing the hit Naga.
Yeah,
there you go. But yeah, I mean, I know.
I call it Spawn Wraith Ninja.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
It's kind of what it reminds me of. Card did some work there.
That he did. Okay, so I'm just gonna put on I'm gonna quickly. Oh my god, how does this software work? I swear that I'm not a complete idiot. Oh my god. How am I so bad at everything? Okay.
I think that's a question that's probably best answered by prayer.
I'm gonna quickly put on the this season's leaderboard as it is right now. As soon as
I have people asking me how the tournament's going. I'm like, hey, why don't you watch it, man?
it's like,
That's why we're holding it.
yeah, it's like we have a stream for a reason. All right, so this is because we're starting to get pretty deep into the season, so I think it's good to like have a little bit of a make a point to have a season leaderboard at the end. This is where we're at right now. As you can see, we have the big things about this week is that Bailite is extending his leads. He managed to get past to snatch the first position last week, and now he's building up a little bit of a points lead on Pipes, which is the second place. And also Blahguy is getting to a point where he's actually kind of close to snatching the second position. That's the fact that Pipes wasn't here this week. Blahguy has been extremely reliant. Like, he's been there every week. He's not been missing one. Luca is on fire. He has showed up for a total of 2 events and has won both of them. You can see that his win percentage is crazy. I need to stop having him join the booth apparently, so he can concentrate on getting to the end. Look at that!
100%.
And then we have a kind of a a tussle for the third and fourth for the fourth and fifth position, right? Like we have Luca at 14, we have Nicky that is kind of paying for not showing up last week, and Loading that is his results are not amazing, but he is very consistent, shows up every week, and that's paying off. He's also vying for the third position. We have Para, who, by the way, I want to thank Para for being here, because he showed up very much at the last minute to like make it 8. We had 7 people, and then Para was like, yeah, okay, I'll make it 8, and that was thanks. And okay. So that's what this season is going. I believe that the way that this is gonna end up working out is that we're gonna have a 12-week season, and then we're gonna have our finals. So that's I'm gonna try to post a calendar in a way that makes a little bit more sense in the upcoming week. But I think that that's how this is gonna work out. It's the longer season that we have had. Part of it is that our player base has grown a decent bit. So like. We haven't this season. We just have not had any instance of not being able to fire because we just didn't have enough people, and that's been lovely. I want to.
Red Mage, if I want to join the event now, is it possible to get into the season end at this point, or is it statistically locked?
No, you need to. You can definitely like look at that. Like Luca joined 2 events and he's 4th because he ran very good.
Okay.
If
he also played well. He also played well.
Yeah. Let me.
Because a tiny bit of unintentional cheating.
He had good results. Let me put it that way. So yeah, like that's how it worked out. So like I think that if you start joining now and end up doing well, you definitely will have a chance. I'm working out things to have. I'm almost done to being able to announce like a permanent second co-host. I need the person that I contacted to like get back to me because they had some things with their work to figure out. Their schedule was changing. They're trying to figure that part out. They should get back to me within the next week to a month. Basically, so as long as their training is done. So and as soon as that's over, I will have more definite.
Who is it?
Well, we're gonna see when we're gonna.
Oh,
I'm
it's a
gonna
surprise?
unveil. Yeah, I'm gonna unveil when
It's a surprise?
when the thing when I have all the information.
Well, I don't know about you guys, Twitch chat, but I'm excited.
I will. Also, I want to remind everybody: exclamation point Discord. That gets you. Oh yeah, Necropotence, absolutely. Just feel free. Just join in, do well, and run the tables and qualify for the season end.
Hey, Necropotence, if you are going to join, though, with a name like that, you can only run Mono Black Sui.
Yeah, you have to do that. But I was saying, exclamation point Discord gets to the Discord. It's in general a lovely place. You just want to be on the Discord because it's full of awesome people. But also it's where we run this tournament from. You can get, if you want to get more info on the format, the Discord has that. If you want to get started on joining this tournament, the instructions are posted there. Also, exclamation point next poll. 4 events at 3-0 and not sharing the TVB at all. That's 20. That would be 24, right? Because because there is 1 point for showing up, plus 3 points for the win, plus 3 points for the tournament win bonus. So actually that's 28. So you can actually just okay, yeah. So exclamation point next poll gets you to the poll for sign up next week. Please, if you're gonna sign up, please sign up. Don't sign up at noon on the day off because we had to scrounge up to find the last couple players today. And also, please show up if you sign up because we had a couple no shows today as well. Well, we had one no show, but.
I like the negative QPs for no shows.
I want to punish people for signing up and not showing up in some way because, like, we had that problem that it just wasn't. I don't know. I don't know that we might change how that works next season. But like, I want there to be a penalty of some sort for sign up. Like, it's just a matter of telling me at any point before that you can't show up and there is no penalty. Like, we had a drop today that just told me like half an hour beforehand, and that was fine.
Can I be a little bit of a smartass? How many negative QPs do you have?
I meant like I believe I meant negative 24. I believe.
All right, easily the point lead. All right.
I'll anyway. Let's call it a stream. I think we've jib jabbered there long enough. Thanks everybody for watching. Congratulations to Luca again for winning the event, and thanks to all of our players for showing up. I will talk to you all next week. Oh, Necropotence. No, wait. Let's go raid somebody. Who are we gonna raid? Who's on Twitch? Who is on? Engineering is on? Sure. I mean, I feel like that's... How
did you get 12 in plants?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I will see you all next week. Bye.